What would you do if your entire world crumbled in an instant? One moment, everything's perfect, and the next, a single lie destroys it all. Let me take you through the day my life turned upside down. Last year, my husband and I, both 26, packed up everything and moved states away for his job. I was excited at first, supporting him like a good partner, but deep down, something started gnawing at me. The truth is, I had no one there except for him. It was a strange, isolating feeling. But the move wasn't just about the two of us. His baby mama, 38 years old, and his daughter, we'll call her E, also came along. Now, here's where things start to get crazy. E is 9, and for context, my husband was just 17 when she was born. And his baby mama? She wasn't just some random girlfriend, she was his high school teacher. Yeah, you heard that right. His teacher. I knew him back then. We were close friends in high school. I even helped him take care of E when her mom wasn't around, and I think that's part of what brought us together in the first place. We bonded over the struggles, and that's how we fell in love. Eventually, we got married and built a life together. Up until about 4 months ago, everything was perfect. We were 8 months pregnant with our baby boy, our dream life seemed just around the corner, and we were beyond happy. But then, one night, everything changed. We were just relaxing on the couch like any other evening when my husband gets a call from his baby mama. It seemed like no big deal until I heard her shouting through the phone. He quickly stepped out of the room to take the call in private. But when he came back, he wasn't the same person who left. I could feel it immediately. There was this coldness in his eyes. I didn't know why at the time, but I was about to find out. He sat me down and told me something that felt like a punch to the gut. His daughter, E, had told him that I'd been hitting her when he wasn't around. I was speechless. I couldn't believe it. I had never laid a hand on E, never. I get it, though. E is his daughter. She's his world, and he would protect her at all costs. I would have done the same if it were my son. But he believed her. Without question, without a doubt, he believed her. I tried to defend myself. I told him again and again that it wasn't true, that I would never hurt E. But he wasn't hearing it. His mind was made up. He grabbed his car keys and stormed out of the house without another word. The last thing he said to me? I want nothing to do with you or our baby. I was shattered. My world was collapsing around me. I called him over and over, desperate to fix this, but he wouldn't answer. Eventually, he blocked me completely. I was pregnant, alone, in a state far away from my family, and the person I needed most had just abandoned me. For weeks, I was stuck in that house, just waiting. Waiting for something, anything, to make sense again. But he never came back. Less than a month later, I went into labor. I didn't want him to miss the birth of our son, so I did something desperate. I called him from a stranger's phone. When he picked up and realized it was me, he immediately hung up. He didn't care. He didn't want to be there. I was heartbroken, but I had to move on. I gave birth to our beautiful baby boy without him. I thought that was the end. That I'd be doing this on my own from here on out. But when I got home from the hospital, there he was. My husband. He looked terrible, completely worn down. I didn't want to hear anything from him, but then he told me why he was there. It turns out, the hospital had called him to confirm the room I'd booked was paid for by my father. That's when it all clicked for him. He realized he had abandoned me and his son. And then, his daughter, E, came clean. She confessed that she had lied. She said she made the whole thing up because she wanted to get her mommy and daddy back together. She thought by breaking us up, her parents would reunite. He was devastated. He begged for forgiveness, pleaded to see our son. But I couldn't handle it. After everything he put me through, leaving me when I needed him the most, I told him to leave. I didn't want to see him again. Now, I've moved back home. I've served him with divorce papers, but he still hasn't signed them. He says he wants us to be a family again. But after everything he did, after he showed me where his priorities lie, how can I ever trust him again? How do I know he won't abandon our son like he abandoned me? I'm still figuring out what comes next. He desperately wants me to take him back, but I don't know if I can. He broke my trust in a way I never thought possible, and now I have to think about what's best for my son. So, what would you do? Could you ever forgive someone for something like this? Let me know in the comments, because I'm still trying to